Can you say dick in like a 12?
Yes, yeah, you can.
You can.
I thought that was their only dick, I think.
No, there was two. I wrote it down. There's
Really?
two dicks.
Where's the second dick?
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 2 of Can't Believe You Haven't Seen. I am Daniel.
And I am Daniel.
And on this podcast, we introduce each other to something new. Whether it be a film, a TV show, a game, it can be anything. And this week, Daniel, bro, I can't believe you haven't seen Man of Steel.
Well, I have now. So
Let's talk about that. This is a film that I quite like, which is why I suggested it.
yeah, this is a film I had absolutely zero interest in and didn't want to watch because from what I've seen of the DC universe, it's pretty shit. It's pretty bad.
But you've seen Batman v Superman.
I have, yeah,
And
it was pretty
any
shit.
of the others?
It's pretty bad. Bad my language. I've seen Justice League.
Oh yeah.
I've seen Wonder Woman. That was alright. I liked Wonder Woman. Is there a standalone Batman film with the bad Batman?
The bad Batman.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
No.
He's a bit cringe. But from what I had seen of Henry Cavill from those other films, or is it Cavill?
Cavill.
Okay, because you were looking at me like I was like I was an idiot. But yeah, from what I had seen from him, I wasn't interested at all. I didn't want to see more.
But you loved it.
But I went into it not wanting to see it.
Yeah.
I put it off for ages. I only watched this last night.
God.
Yeah.
Wow.
I put it off that bad. I actually really enjoyed it.
You did?
I did.
That is a surprise. Wow. Okay. I was really expecting.
Well, I'm happy to disappoint.
You had me going there. Well done.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, I'm glad because it is a film that I like as well. Obviously. But that's good because it is quite a divisive film. I'm not sure if you know of like the general opinion or.
Well, I asked my mother and father
Yes.
earlier, and they both said they didn't really like it. So that
you watched it
surprised
with
me. Yeah. What?
We can just go through it first if you like. Then I'll lead if that's all right.
Oh, I'm sure if you've got some sort of.
I just thought we could go through,
Okay,
sort of because the film opens. So you got the whole prologue section on Krypton.
Yes.
What did you think of that?
Well, I put here very cool opening scene, but we probs won't see much of this place, which disappointed me because I thought it was a pretty cool place. They had really cool, dope outfits. Everyone was looking sick, and I was happy and enjoying it, but I was also sad because I knew that the film would probably be mostly on Earth and we wouldn't see too much of that. But we see the outfits a bit later, so that was alright. But I did like the planet. Yeah.
It is cool design because I'm not sure if... Have you seen like any other Superman films or anything? Or
Yeah, I have seen the previous Superman, I think.
Superman Returns?
Who plays Superman?
Brandon Routh.
That helps not at all.
Well, anyway.
What year was that?
Oh, 2006.
Doesn't help either. Yeah, I don't know. I think I've seen.
Okay, but the whole thing with like, I mean, that's part of like, or sort of adjacent to like all the old Superman stuff anyway, and like all the like Krypton and stuff in that is like this whole like crystal aesthetic that's like really boring in my opinion, and it's like you look at it and it's like, how can anyone live there? So I'm glad with this, like right straight out of the gate they're doing something different, and they've got this really cool world that's like has all this organic kind of
stuff.
Yeah. Like all the like technology, like all that kind of. Yeah, I really dig the look of Krypton.
I just think it looks cool.
And that whole opening, it's dense, but it's necessary, and I think they do a good job.
It doesn't feel like there's too much going on.
No, they do a good job in a short time, giving us everything we need. Tell us like what's going on with Krypton. They give us baby Superman, and we got the setup for Zod as well. So
not a huge fan of him, but we'll go into that.
That's interesting. So I was going to save this till later, but it was like the second note I made because it stands out to me pretty quickly. But the music, did you pay any attention to that at all?
I won't lie, not really.
Okay, well,
but nothing really stood out to me. Like I can usually recognize if it's really good music. I feel like it was just sort of like meh.
Oh, okay, that's fair enough. Because I think it's like one of my favorite film scores of all
Really?
time. It's
Who was it?
Hans Zimmer. His like soup. There's maybe I'll force you to listen to some tracks later.
Okay.
But like his like Superman theme and his theme for Zod as well are like really cool. And then like the whole like action beats towards the end. There's like a track in particular that's called Arcade. I'm not sure why it's called Arcade, but that's like a really good. It's just
To me, it just sounded like generic superhero film music, or like not even superhero film, just action film music.
that's a shame
Yeah.
because I do. Yeah, I love this score. But I mean that's fine. I'm not upset.
I'm sorry.
Here's something that upset me. Not properly. Not actually upset me. But
Okay.
they didn't wrap that baby in a blanket at all. They just put the baby naked, dick out. I'm sorry. In a cold spaceship. Really stood out to me. I was just like, they're not even going to wrap him up in
Maybe they didn't have blankets on Krypton.
It didn't look like a blankety kind of place, did it?
No.
No.
It looked like a cold, you only get what you need kind of place. They don't have any luxuries there.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, they do a good job of conveying that it is like this really sterile,
Yeah.
like society, with obviously like the whole thing about no natural births or anything like that, and like how everyone has a purpose before they're even born. What did you think of that kind of aspect of the?
I mean, in a way, that would be nice for like real life.
Oh,
But in another way, that's kind of like, it kind of sucks for them, really.
yeah.
It's like you're immediately being told this is what you have to do. You
Well,
got to do it.
yeah.
But at the same time, if you don't know what you want to do, then it's probably quite a good thing.
Well, it's certainly come in handy for us.
Hey.
Hey. Well, my next note is what did you think of Zod? But I think we'll save that just until until he comes back later.
Okay.
Because
Yeah. Sure.
So
You don't see too much from him at the beginning.
No.
I actually noted down here because I thought it was dumb and I didn't think they would acknowledge it, but they do. I said, "What does the S stand for?" Because I found that pretty dumb. They're like they have this S, and coincidentally, he's called Superman. But obviously, I didn't know the story, so it's actually kind of cool that it's not an S.
Yeah. Well,
it stands hope, isn't it?
It does.
Yeah. They should have just put an H, to be honest, but. They're cool.
Well, I'm sure if their planet didn't explode, maybe you could have told them.
I just found it funny how the dude said, "We've had a child, a boy child." But yeah, and I didn't know his name was Kal-El either.
Kal-El.
Kal-El. Kal-El.
Kal-El.
Kal-El.
Kal-L.
Son of Aaron.
Aaron?
Aaron?
Jaw.
Oh.
Jaw.
No, he said Cal, son of... I wrote down Cal, son of Aaron. I don't know who Aaron is, but...
Aaron isn't anybody.
Oh, well.
No, his dad's name was Jor-El. Their last name is L.
That's weird. That's futuristic stuff right there.
What, Alien?
Alien.
Yeah. Okay, well, is there anything else you had to say about the prologue?
Well, kind of past the prologue a little bit, but I didn't like. Well, no, there's nothing else about the prologue.
No, go on.
I don't like how when they carry on, it jumps around a lot.
Yeah.
When he's a kid and an adult, and then so the next thing you see is him on the boat, isn't it? Him on that ship. Yeah. When he's a full-grown adult.
Mm-hmm.
But then it goes back to him when he was a kid.
Yep.
And I feel like it would just make more sense if they just showed it chronologically instead of jumping around like that.
Okay.
Maybe that would have been boring.
I prefer the non-linear structure. I feel like it's one of those things where, because something like Superman, everybody sort of, even if you don't really know, like, you get it with Superman.
Yeah.
Like, you know his deal. So I think it's the whole thing with, like, seeing Batman's parents die and, like, the fact that,
nobody cares.
And the fact that, like, the Marvel films with, like, the Tom Holland Spider-Man, like, they haven't even bothered, like, with any, like, Uncle Ben stuff in those films. I think everybody gets it, so I think, even though they do show him, like, as a kid anyway, kind of, like, coming to terms with the fact that he's an alien, I think showing it in, like, a non-linear way helps to sort of...
make it more interesting.
Yeah, to just, mix it up a bit, because...
I guess I get that.
Yeah, but that, I mean, that's just my opinion. If you didn't like the structure, then
Well, no, I can see your opinion, but I'd like to see it laid out chronologically, just to see how that would compare. But I guess they probably did that, and they found out that it wasn't that great.
I mean, yeah, maybe.
Oh, I wrote down that his X-ray vision is pretty cool as well. I like how they show that.
Yeah, I like his heat vision as well. The fact that looks like it hurts when he does it.
When the lasers come out of his eyes.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that looks painful.
yeah. But that's
And then when he does it for ages later, and his eyes are like red for a
Mm.
second afterwards. Ouch.
yeah, it's cool. What did you think of the VFX in general?
Yeah.
Because I thought they really held up.
Yeah, mostly. But in the end, the fight scenes at the end, jumping forward a bit, it kind of just looked a bit. Some of the shots looked like fully CG. Like,
Fair enough. I mean, they probably were.
yeah, they just stood out. Usually, I don't see that kind of thing, but they stood out as not being that great.
Fair enough.
But most of it, I think, was pretty good.
Yeah.
Especially the X-ray vision. That was cool. I liked that.
One thing I really appreciate about this film.
Mm-hmm.
After the prologue, when he's on the boat, first of all, he's got a good beard.
Yes.
Secondly,
Wish he kept that.
it was good. It was good.
Yeah.
Secondly, hairy chest.
I wasn't fussed about his chest.
It's just nice to see because you don't get a lot of that in. You know, they're always like waxed to
True.
hell in these films. So it's nice to see good old hairy chest.
Yeah. I guess. You okay?
Sorry, just looking at my notes and I'm like confused as to why I get it now. I wrote, why are they letting all those kids watch? But it's because the first flashback when he's a little kid and he's like having his X-ray vision and he goes and locks himself in the closet.
Oh.
He's just like got like a crowd
Yeah.
of children and like the teacher's there and she's not all like, okay, let's go back to class. Like
No. That's opening him up to bullying there. Letting his mum come as well. Not good.
the flashback that happens after that on the bus.
Oh.
Oh, what?
Well, I mean, you can say your thing first, but
Well, my thing
have
is pretty
words.
dumb. I don't know
Okay.
why I make notes like this because they're just not helpful. Okay, but I remember when I first watched this because this came out in 2013, so I would have been a 13-year-old boy.
Yes.
It's, you know, probably if it was 2013, probably came out in the summer. So I'm thinking, still would have been in year 7. No, would have been in year 8. Doesn't matter. Anyway, but it surprised me because the like the ginger bully on the
Yeah.
bus, he calls him Dick Splash, right?
Okay.
And that really stood out to me at the time, just because I was like, "Can you say Dick in like a 12?"
Yes. Yeah, you can. Well, that was their only dick, I think.
No, there was 2. I wrote it down. There's
Really?
two dicks.
Where's the second dick?
The other dick is when Lois Lane first pops up
Yes.
and she says to like those army dudes, she says, "If we're done measuring dicks,
Yes.
can we carry on?" Or like, you know, something.
Yeah.
So there's 2 dicks.
2 dicks.
2 dicks.
3 if you count the baby's dick.
3 dicks.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say about
We
the
should have
bus.
a dick count every episode.
What I was going to say about the bus thing is when his dad like started telling him, well, not his dad, but you know, started
his
telling him off about like showing his powers. I thought that was pretty messed up. He said, "Oh, so I should have just left them all." And the dad was like, "Yeah."
Well, okay. Well, we can get into that because that's one of the things. I think that's one of the polarizing aspects of this film because in most portrayals, Jonathan Kent, his dad,
Mhm.
is sort of meant to be like the voice of like, I guess, you know, it's like your Uncle Ben's to your Spider-Man.
I haven't actually. I can't remember Uncle Ben at all because I only really remember the new Spider-Man.
Fair enough, but like just the gist of it, like this guy that's like, hey, you can do these things, so you should probably like, you know, just be a good guy and like you got a responsibility
With
to.
great power comes great responsibility.
That's really good. Where did you hear that?
Made it up.
But you know, exactly. So it's meant to be like that kind of thing. But it obviously they did it different in this, where he's more concerned with obviously his own son's safety. Which I mean, obviously
I
you
think
would be.
It's pretty realistic. I feel like.
Yeah.
Because I never thought about that before. How humans would either want to either see it as a threat, or they'd want to abuse the power, or like do experiments on him, or. So I felt like that opened up a new idea.
Yeah. I mean, I I go back and forth on it. I think I do. I quite like it. I mean, yeah, I do like it. I like the sort of the change of pace, like, because at the end of the day, he still, he just wants him to be safe, and I think as a parent, obviously that just overrides any other sense of like, well, you should probably save the world or something, you know.
Yeah.
So I think that's, you know, an interesting way to look at it, but at the same time, it is quite jarring when this man is just like, maybe you should just let all of those children die.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe there was a different way they could have, like, you know.
He didn't explicitly say that, but he kind of implied it.
I think Clark says, like, I should have just let them all die, and he just says, maybe.
Yeah, actually.
So he pretty much does. But,
is that bully that calls him Dick Splash, is that the same...
That, like, shop worker?
No. The guy, when he bends metal, when he, like, gets pushed over and he's, like, scrunches the metal up.
Oh, the guy that helps him up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he pops up, so he's the bully on the bus.
Yeah, he's an adult at some point.
And then he's an adult that works at the IHOP.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was quite cool that he, like, changed.
Yeah, that's
good character progression. Just a side note.
Sorry, yes.
I cannot remember her name. Louis.
Right, those are men's names.
Louis. Lois. Yeah. Whenever I saw her in this, I just kept thinking about the deep fake with Nicolas Cage. Like throughout the entire film. It's very jarring.
I forgot about that. Oh, yeah.
Like she began to look like a deep fake. Which was kind of annoying.
Well, what did you think of her as a character and as a person?
She's a great person. I didn't feel strongly about her at all, really.
No,
She didn't make me feel anything.
That's okay. I think I have a hard time with the actress, Amy Adams.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's not like a bad actress or anything. I mean, she's like a multiple Oscar nominee.
Yeah, she's quite good.
But for some reason, I just don't buy her in this role, in this film. I don't think when she was doing like sassy journalist lines, they didn't sound natural to me.
Yeah.
I found them a bit cringe, to be honest.
I feel like she should have been younger. And a different actress.
Well, it's quite interesting because she's like, I think, a good few years older than Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Which you don't often get in these films. So that's 2 for 2. Hairy chests, older women.
Breaking all the molds.
That's why it's great. So there's that whole... Actually, no, going back a bit, there's another flashback that I really like, but I think it's another thing that people have a problem with, which is where he's like working in that bar, and that guy is obviously being a total dick.
Yes.
And so...
I wanted him to knock that dude out.
And so he like ruins his truck.
Yeah.
Like, I really like that scene, but I think people are like, well, Superman wouldn't do that. So what do you...
I think that's exactly what Superman would do.
I love that bit where the guy pushes him and he's just solid. That's really good.
I think that's pretty cool. He wasn't violent. He just screwed with that guy's truck.
Yeah. Just ruined his livelihood, that's all.
Yeah. Well, he deserved it though. He was being
Well, yeah, that's the thing I don't get. It's like, oh, well, Superman can't do that. And it's like, well, okay, do you support that guy that's like sexually assaulting the worker, is being a dick to all the other staff? Like, you know, you want that kind of guy to just get off? And
also, right, those people are basing that on the comics, which I'm assuming.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess.
And I've never read the comics, whatever, but this is a film. This is its own, like, interpretation of Superman. So the Superman in the comics might not do that, but this is a completely different person. It's a completely different interpretation.
I'm going to go off on a rant for a second. I'm sorry. This is my whole thing with comic book adaptations, right? People they get so annoyed when something's not comic accurate, and I get it. It's like when it comes down to things like costumes, and I mean, obviously, if a character is like way out of character, then that's like, you know, it's like, why are you even adapting it if you're just going to change it so much? But like, just little things. Like that. I've completely lost what I'm even saying now. But like, when it comes to
when
it comes to adaptations, it's an adaptation. It's not the comic. If you want the comic, go and read the comic.
Yeah. And
even then, especially when it comes to comics, it's a different if it's like a novel or something. But when it comes to comic books, these characters have been around. Like Superman has been around for 85 years. Right.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
I think, well, not quite yet, but between 80 and 85. And
You lied to me.
I'm so sorry. And since then, there's been so many writers and artists that have written and like interpreted and reinterpreted all these different characters like Superman in different ways. There's like a core idea of Superman.
Yeah, he's OP.
Yeah. But there's no set version, you know. Obviously,
You wouldn't want a set version. Why would you want every version to be the same?
but it's just comics have always just been interpretations of what like the last guy did. It's like, well, this is how I view Batman now that I'm writing Batman, and like that's what comics are. And then when they adapt films from it, that's just an extension of that. That's just what this writer director has like in how that they interpret what they've read and what they like about the character, and that's what an adaptation is. And it just annoys me when people are like, well, Superman wouldn't do that. It's like, oh,
well, this one would.
So like, but anyway, I'm getting off topic.
Getting after this. Wow.
Yeah, I've had this bottled up for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm glad that we agreed that guy deserved it.
Absolutely.
That was
he deserved a punch in the face.
Good. He should have killed him.
Superman wouldn't do that.
There we go. Well, until we get to the end, breaks up the neck.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he deserved that though.
But we'll get to that.
Okay. But he did.
So we have that whole bit like in the snow, the ice bit.
Why was that ship there? I never got that.
It was, I've never actually understood that until this most recent viewing.
Wow.
It was a scout ship that Krypton sent out many, many, many years ago that's just been buried in ice, and they haven't found it until now.
Awfully convenient.
I know, but you just got to roll with it. And then it only reactivates and like flies away again because Clark is there, because obviously he's Kryptonian.
Yeah.
So that's
and he's
that's
got
why
his
that's
little
there.
Thing.
Yeah, but I always assumed that came down at like the same time as he did for some reason. I don't know why I thought that. So that's always confused me. I'm like, well, why are there skeletons in there and like things like that? But now that I've actually listened to the film, I think they said it's been there for like 20,000 years.
What, before he even got there then?
Yeah, because it was a scout ship from Krypton that were just like
exploring. I got you.
Because
I thought you meant like a scout ship that was looking for where Clark went.
No,
because he was
Krypton blew up.
Yeah, but the bad dude was looking for Clark.
Oh right, yeah.
So yeah.
But yes, now that I finally understood that, and then he goes in there and he meets Ghost Dad.
Yes.
What did you think of Ghost Dad?
Bad.
Bad. You didn't like Ghost Dad.
Bad dad. Yeah, it just felt like
bit too
real.
Too real. What do you
mean?
mean?
Too real. It wasn't like.
Oh, I mean, you like because he was a hologram and he felt like.
Yeah, he didn't feel like a hologram. He didn't feel like a ghost. He didn't feel like.
Yeah. He was just there.
Yeah,
he might as well have been alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like at least make him a little bit blue and a bit see-through or something. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I get. Yeah, that's valid. I think because he is just like he might as well be alive because he's just there. But he gets his. Oh.
It is pretty cool though when Amy Adams meets him.
Yes.
And he's like telling her what to do. I thought that was a pretty cool little scene where he's like saying, shoot.
Oh yeah, later on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm skipping ahead.
No, sorry, that's all right.
But still, I think he should have been a bit,
Yeah, that was a cool bit. Though.
Blue.
Yeah, but I mean, just anything like a bit of flickering, maybe.
Literally,
like,
yeah.
But anyway,
Bit of a glitch.
Here's a bit I've written. I made a note of this. I thought the film had a bit of a muddled message in terms of what his dads were telling him to do and what they like wanted him to do. I don't know what they want because Jor-El's whole thing.
Jor-El?
His dad. His space
his actual
dad.
Okay.
His space dad. He was all like, we had you.
Yeah.
Like, we gave birth to you normally because we wanted you to have the freedom and like, to be able to choose for yourself and all that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, now that you're here, I think what you should do is go out and show the world that, like, it's like, he was saying all that, and then he was like, okay, be a Superman. I have the suit. And, like, it was weird because he was, like, telling him what to do. It's like, you are here because you can, like, unite the world and everything. But it's like, he wasn't giving him a choice. So I found that quite weird.
Yeah.
What did you have any thoughts on that? Or, like, or am I just looking at it wrong? Or
well, when did he say that he wanted to give him a choice?
He says, like, what if a child wanted to be more than what society had intended? Like, something like that.
Yeah.
So he's saying that he wants him to be able to have that choice and everything.
Yeah, I
But-
don't concur.
You-
I don't feel like... I feel like it was always pretty obvious that that he wanted Clark to be like that, or be... Because they put all the, that stuff inside of him. What was it? The people.
All of the DNA of like Krypton. I didn't quite understand how that was supposed to work, but I kind of just rolled with it. But
Yeah,
he's got
well,
all of
they
Krypton
put all the
inside.
DNA inside of him, so obviously they always wanted him to do something with that. They didn't just put it inside of him because why not?
Well,
So
that's something I think I've written a note about later. That he wanted him to be able to act as like a bridge between the two people, so that they could coexist, basically.
which didn't happen.
But then obviously Zod's here, like, nah, I'm gonna kill all the humans.
Yeah, bad guy.
And so I think that's why he ultimately chooses the humans over the Kryptonians. But yeah, I just wasn't. I know that he wanted him to be a Superman and like do it, but I didn't understand why he was then making a point of being like, we wanted you to have a choice and be free, you know. No? Okay.
I don't feel like they pushed the "we wanted you to have a choice" thing that much for it to be that big a problem. I feel like he only says that like once.
Well, once is enough.
Well, maybe he's just saying it so that he can say that he said it. He's like, "Oh, by the way, you have a choice, but this is what you're gonna do."
We'll agree
Maybe
to
I'm
disagree.
Just before you go off, because we're at this point now. When he finds the ship, when he finds that suit, the like red cape one, I don't get that. Why is his suit so different to every other? Like the black ones are pretty cool, and then they've just got this random blue spandex with a red cape. It doesn't make sense to me.
No idea. I'm not entirely. I mean, it was the same as the other suits, like as the black
different
ones.
colours.
It was the same material and everything. I mean, you
why
can
is it
forgive
blue and
like,
red?
different colours.
Yeah, but it's just so
different.
different.
The one that like Jor-El had at the start was like a purplish kind of colour. So like they're not all just like black and.
It just stood out to me.
I mean, it is strange because it's like, why is it there? Like, why is it there? Like with the symbol of his house specifically.
Yeah.
And, like, why does it have a cape on it? Like, so I get all that. I don't.
I mean, that is nitpicky. But at the same time, he is one of the Kryptonians, but he just looks so different that it's like.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't like it.
It is a bit. It's just kind of one of those things that you gotta like.
Like a bit on the nose, like, ooh, he's really colourful and blue and red and everything, and then the bad guys are black.
What did you think of the suit?
His suit?
Why? I mean, like apart from the fact that it's like, where did it come from, and like, why is it there? I mean, what did how it looks? What did you think?
Is it CG?
There might be some CG tweaking, but it's not.
Well, just because there's Spider-Man suits CG, but
yeah,
that's like 10 years later. So
yeah. No, there's like, plenty of set photos and stuff of him. Like they are real. They're real suits. It's not CG. Yeah.
I think it looks good. I think the cape's a bit big.
Okay.
I'm a sucker for a small cape.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like Kylo Ren's cape in Star Wars, the end of Star Wars Episode 7, when it's all...
That is a small cape.
That is a tiny cape. I like that sort of thing. But I mean, it's a very big cape, and it's a very red cape. But I think the suit looked good.
I think it really stood out to me because...
You can't really change the colours of Superman's outfit.
No.
It's iconic.
But you can make them incredibly dark.
Yeah.
To the point where I found it quite distracting.
You think they were too dark?
Because that's another thing that people, like to complain about this film. It's like, oh, it's too dark. Why is it so dark? And, to a certain extent, I agree. Why is it so dark? But
the film in general, or just those outfits?
Literally the way it looks. Like the cinematography, the grading.
Yeah.
Like it is a dark film. I mean, there's no denying. But at the same time, when they wanted the colours to pop, there was plenty colourful.
Yeah.
Like
there's some very nice looking shots in there.
Very
colourful.
Which is why, to me, in contrast, I was like, man, his suit is so dark. Like, it's a really, really dark blue, and like the yellow on the symbol is like it just really stood out.
I forgot that it was even yellow.
Exactly. And like that just really stood out to me. I was like, why are they making such an effort to like really mute the colours on that suit?
I appreciate that. I didn't even really think about that. But I think that's better than him having a bright blue suit when everyone else has black.
I would have liked it to appear darker, lighter, just because I think it would have hammered home the point that he's like this beacon of hope in this dark world. It just looked a bit drab to me. I was like, man, that's too dark.
Yeah, but then it would, for me, in that if they did that, that would make the problem worse with the whole his outfit being different to everyone else's. Like if we saw his parents in the same outfit that Superman wears, that would make more sense. But I can't remember exactly, but didn't they even have armor on?
Yeah, they had armor, but he doesn't need armor, does he?
Well, no, he doesn't. But if his parents were wearing similar outfits, like blue with the red, that would make more sense to me. And why did a scout ship have an outfit on like that, just ready?
That's what I was asking earlier.
Wow,
we agree.
I now agree with you.
So anyway, the whole bit, and he comes out and he learns to fly. But I have a question for you.
Okay.
When did he shave? Because he had a beard, or like not quite as much as he did when he was like on that boat earlier. But he had like a bit of a beard going on.
Shorter.
And then he comes out with the suit on and everything for the first time, and he's clean shaven.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't notice that.
So there must have been a special Kryptonian razor on that.
He goes in with a beard.
Yeah, like quite a a beard. A beard. It's still noticeably facial hair.
Well,
again, it's not something
one
that
of those
actually bothers me.
Big questions we'll never know the answer to.
It's just one of those things I noticed the very first time I watched it.
Yeah.
So I've never been able to let it go.
I never noticed that. Maybe he did shave.
Oh, this is something that. Sorry, did you have a?
Oh, I don't think we're there yet. And you're doing chronologically, so don't worry about
it. One thing that bugged me about the filmmaking.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you noticed, but I really did. There are so many action zooms in this film.
Mm-hmm.
Like where you're following action and then it just like the quick push in on like.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the kind of.
I usually don't like that, but I actually, literally, when I was watching this, ages ago, because I prepared for this, long in advance.
Yeah.
I saw the first action zoom, and I just thought, wow, I usually don't like those, but that was pretty cool.
That's interesting. I don't.
I enjoyed them in this film.
I don't dislike them. There were just so many of them. Like it really stood out to me. I was like,
I didn't notice there being that many.
Maybe I should make a video.
Yeah.
Of like.
Insert that clip right here.
Okay.
In this audio podcast.
But yeah, and then not long after this, unless there's something you.
Have they done the "You Are Not Alone" thing yet? It doesn't matter that it's about
it.
If
you want to bring that up now, that's fine.
Yeah, I was watching that. I thought that was so cool. It literally gave me goosebumps. Really? I was like, holy! Imagine if that happened in real life. Like right now, you're watching TV or whatever, your lights go off. On your screen it says "You are not alone," and this like alien-looking dude is there. Like that just gave me the creeps.
Wow, it was. Cool. I did think at the time I was like, this is quite creepy.
Yeah,
like the way I can't remember what bit in particular. There was like a certain shot that I just can't even remember now. But I remember thinking like, oh, this is a bit like almost like a horror movie just for a second here.
Yeah,
I think there was it was kind of like this handheld shot, like walking into like Clark and like his mum's house. Like after I think the lights first went out. Yeah, because they went outside and I think they could see the ship in the sky and then the TV came on.
Oh yeah.
And I think there's like a if I'm remembering it correctly, I could just be, but I think there's like this sort of handheld shot that follows back into the house.
I like that.
It was quite creepy. So that was well done.
But so from that you think they're going to go with the whole like whoa, aliens, how crazy is that kind of thing? But you never really see any humans be like, whoa, aliens, how crazy is that? Nobody seems that, like all the America FBI dudes, whatever, they're like not phased at all. All the army dudes, you feel like when that ship comes down, they'd be like, oh my god, but nobody seems to care.
That's fair. I've never really considered that, but I guess, yeah.
I think that would just give it a more grounded, like, feel to it.
Because
that's where I thought it was going after the "You Are Not Alone" part, but...
Yeah, that's not really something I've ever considered, but yeah, I agree.
Thank you.
What I was going to bring up was which I think is the last, well, not the last one, I don't think, but the last prominent flashback was when his dad dies.
Yes.
His human dad.
Yeah. Saving the dog. Come on.
From a tornado.
Yeah.
That whole thing.
That annoyed me. They could have picked some better way for him to die.
Yeah.
Is that how he dies in the comics?
No, which is one thing that I will say, like, they should have just kept it. In the comics, he just dies from a heart attack,
Yeah, that would have been
which
fine.
is like a good way because of like sort of teaching Superman that he can't save everyone. You know, he can be faster than a speeding bullet, and he can probably lift a car, but you know, you can't stop a heart attack. And like, yeah, I think that's like a good lesson for him to learn. But this is another thing where I was like, well, what does his dad want? Where it's like, don't save me from this tornado because
You could have outrun
people
that.
will see you. Like,
Yeah.
I just didn't quite get it. And it's like, well, why didn't he just let Clark get the dog?
Yeah.
Like, just things like that. It's like,
He essentially killed himself.
yeah, I think, and I get the whole thing. I mean, I guess it is within his character as presented in the film. Like, he doesn't want Clark to expose himself in any sort of way, but it was just to that degree that he's going to allow himself to get swallowed by a tornado.
For a dog.
Yeah, it just, that it is a bit silly.
Yeah.
So that's not my favourite part of the film.
And the fact that he could have, number one, why did they just go to that bridge? They should have ran further because everyone was just standing under the bridge watching.
The tornado is still coming.
Yeah, some bridge isn't going to stop it. And number two, he just stood there and waved. Like, I feel like he could have made it out. He could have ran.
Could have limped away.
Oh shit, he did have a broken. Yeah.
But even still, I mean,
you would have tried. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not just going to be like, well, this is it.
See ya. Yeah, I did forget about the broken ankle. To be fair.
But yeah, that's not the best scene in the film. I've written here, what if Superman but real? Because that's kind of this film's whole shtick, which is like, what if Superman but in the real world? You know, which, I mean, in itself, I think is a silly thing to try and do, just because it's not real, and it's never going to be real.
Well, what if it is?
Well, then you can call me a silly Billy, but, you know, for now. To the film's credit, even though I do think it's like not the best idea to try and do Superman, but what if he's real? I do think the film does do it well, and this is actually, even though we're not talking about this film, but I think just because I have watched it recently, Batman v Superman.
Yes.
After watching that quite recently and then watching this again, they do actually handle it quite well. Like, just the whole thing with, because the big thing in Batman v Superman is like people people loving Superman because they think he's like a god. But then also people hating on him because he's like, oh, this alien and this like immigrant, like, there's a lot of that like allegories for that kind of thing. But I think they handle it really well. Like, I think it's done quite effectively in this, and like you see the sort of the seeds of that in this film, and them just questioning like what on earth it means for like this being to exist, like this almighty powerful being, and like what that means, how that's going to affect people, and like how we view the world, and like I think. Yeah, it's handled quite well.
I agree.
Yeah, and yeah, just like I said, I think, and then if you were to watch Batman v Superman after this, those themes are carried on quite naturally, I think, and it's done quite well.
Thinking about Batman vs Superman, I've just had a thought. Spoiler warning, or you can just cut this out. I don't know.
Well, we'll see what you say first.
Doesn't Superman die at the end of that?
Yeah. So
there's no more Henry Cavill Superman.
But you've seen Justice League, so you know he comes back.
Okay.
Yeah, and apparently, according to Twitter, which I mean, is that true? Who knows? But
Twitter's a real thing.
No, I know. Yeah.
I'm
talking about what's on Twitter.
Sorry.
Apparently, he's like signed some new contracts to come back in some more Superman films.
Oh, I saw that I googled Henry Cavill Superman, and that came up. So.
Which I would be very pleased about because he's good, and it would be nice to actually have like a true sequel, or just give him a chance in his own film, to...
Yeah. I'm surprised. I thought there were more Henry Cavill films, but no.
No. I mean, obviously, Batman v Superman, he's half of the title in that film, so, it's not like he's...
Why would you put Superman second?
It would just be nice to have him back. But anyway.
This does make me want to watch Batman v Superman again.
I would recommend it, because I was really down on that film when it first came out. I hated it. But I think it was just one of those things where, like, I went in with certain expectations, and then I came out and it's like, well, that was not what I had in my head, so bad film. And it's not like a perfect film. There's a lot of stuff in it that makes you go like,
Yeah.
But like, if you kind of just give in to the film and just like actually look at what it's trying to say, I think it does it in a pretty good way.
Well, I'll have to rewatch it and see.
But anyway, back on to this film
Yes.
that we are talking about. I was actually lying when I said that the last flashback was the tornado one, because there's another one
You got me.
where those bullies are picking on him.
Yes.
They push him into the fence. And I've just written Dad of the Year because he just watches. He's literally standing right behind that group of children, and they all walk away, and he's just there. And he's like,
damn.
Well,
nothing you could have done.
You did good for getting your ass beat, and I'm proud of you.
And when he says, "Did you get hurt?" and then not like that, like he meant like, did it hurt your emotions?
Did it upset him? He's like, yeah, it did. Yeah, it just got me the way he was just standing there, like he's not even going to talk to these other kids. Like, back up.
You can leave. Don't worry about it. No repercussions.
Yeah, he sounds like a terrible person. Actually, now that I'm really thinking about it.
Yeah, not a good guy. His mum was pretty good.
Yeah, she was. Yeah,
nice woman.
She did seem like a nice lady. We're kind of getting on to like the last.
This
third
is the
act of this film, which goes on for ages.
Yeah, I have a problem with this.
Do you want to talk about Zod then?
He just seemed very too evil for me. Too much like, I am a bad guy, and I will kill everyone because I am a bad guy. And I don't care. No, I don't care.
Oh,
he doesn't care.
That was you being Zod.
Yeah, that was my acting. I just felt over the top, and I don't like his face. That's the real reason.
Well, I mean, I like Zod. I'm a bit biased because Michael Shannon, the actor.
That's a male and a female name.
It is.
From Lost. Both. There's a Michael and a Shannon in Lost.
Oh, I see. Right. Yeah.
Our previous episode, if you haven't seen it, go give it a watch.
Yeah, or listen to it. Well, actually, now just if we're bringing up Lost again quickly.
Okay.
I had quite a bit to say about Charlie, Dominic Monaghan.
Yes.
And one of my genuine complaints about him was also that I don't like his face very much. It annoys me, but I held off on saying that because I didn't want to sound too unfair. But now that you're talking about my man Zod, I feel comfortable enough to say it.
It's more his hairline, I think. Or not his hairline, his hair.
Didn't like his haircut.
Yeah.
That's
just dumb.
Well, he was like a military man, wasn't he? He's not exactly going to have like...
What are you saying about our military there, Daniel?
I'm saying they can have short hair.
Okay, well. Also, were they there? This was something I had an issue with.
Okay.
I think, maybe, when you explain it. So their punishment, when they got frozen in that icy thing...
Yes.
Was that... How long were they in that?
Not long, I don't think.
Okay.
However long it was between them getting sent there and Krypton exploding. Because it was the explosion that set them free for some reason.
Were they conscious in that?
I think so. They usually are.
Because I was going to say, it's not much of a punishment. They just get, like, frozen, and then they're frozen and wake up whenever.
It's the fact... I mean, that's another thing that has, like, there's different interpretations of that. So that's the Phantom Zone. And sometimes it's just, like, a straight-up other dimension thing where you get sent in and you're not allowed to leave.
Sounds fun.
And I think in this, it was maybe more akin to, like, Carbonite in Star Wars. Because Han Solo, or is he fully conscious? I think in the old canon of Star Wars, he was like fully conscious that whole time. He was in there. So I think
I'm very uncomfortable.
Yeah, so I think it was more like that in this. At least I would hope it would be, because if it's just like a sleep, then it's not much of a punishment.
Yeah.
But I think that's probably what they were going for.
They should say these things. It would really help.
I really liked Zod.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah. So
why?
I just love how much he commits to the role, and he's like so intense.
Too intense.
And I mean, I get what you're saying that like he was so evil, but I think that just because like he just doesn't care about the humans, and like, but I like. I mean, I was going to talk about this later, but we can say it now. Like, I've always considered it a reveal. I'm not sure how you interpreted it at the time, but I'll call it a reveal. The reveal that his purpose is to save Krypton at all costs.
I didn't see that as a reveal.
That's interesting, because I remember when I first watched Man of Steel and he says like my purpose is to save Krypton. I remember thinking, oh shit, because like that's why he's like, it's a moment where like everything clicks and like, oh my god. So he's like,
but I feel like that was revealed at the beginning when he's they send the baby away and he's all like, oh no, you can't do that. We need him. Whatever.
I mean, it's certainly something that can be implied or like inferred.
Yeah.
From what?
Because
I think because they don't explicitly say it until that point, I feel that's why I see it as a reveal.
when he said, like, we're going to capture you and try you for your crimes or whatever, I saw that as him, like, trying to take over and establish, like, this new, like, order of things. So I kind of saw, I thought that was his motivation the entire time, to try and make, like, a better Krypton, like, a better way of running things.
I suppose I just never considered it because the only thing that you get told about him is that he's like the military commander
Yeah.
of, I guess, the whole planet of Krypton. But yeah, I really like that. Maybe it isn't a reveal then. Who knows? But anyway,
Maybe I'm just so clever that I worked it out early.
You could be, but I think that's how it came across to me because I do remember that moment just when I first watched it. I was like, oh my god, it all makes sense now. Like that's why he's so like just
driven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously, and then, which is why it makes it interesting as well. Even though I think that whole fight at the end goes on for way too long.
Oh my god. Yeah.
At least you fully understand the motivation. Like his motivation before was to try and save Krypton. Now he can't do that, so he's just like this desperate madman.
Yeah.
Which is why I like him, because you always get a sense of what his goal is, I guess.
Mm.
Which is...
But you just said the opposite.
Did I?
Yeah, you said that it's not revealed till the end what his goal is. And now you're saying...
I mean, you always know what he's doing. He always has a goal. He always makes his goal very clear. But the reveal is why.
Okay. I get you.
He was born to save Krypton.
Oh, okay.
That was his, like, genetic purpose.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you meant the reveal was that that's what he was trying to do.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, oh, okay. Yeah, sorry, no. The reveal that his literal reason for being born. Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't get that part, so...
Oh, well, yeah, that's what I mean.
Alright, yeah, no, that's cool.
Oh, good, well. The one thing that I did find quite silly was there's that whole bit where they take Clark and Lois up to the ship.
Yes.
And I like how he has to like adjust the different atmosphere. That's cool.
Yeah, I like that he's stronger because of Earth's atmosphere.
Mm.
That's a nice little touch.
But then he like passes out, and there's that whole kind of like dream bit.
Mm-hmm.
And like Zod is trying to explain his plan to Clark.
Yeah.
And it's just funny because the way he does that, because Clark is all like, well, what are you doing? And he's like, well, I want to bring Krypton back. And he's like, well, what does that mean for the people of Earth? And then he shows him like skulls, and he like makes him sink into the skulls, and it's like, is that really how you're trying to sell your plan to him?
I didn't think he was trying to turn Clark around. I think he was trying to say, look, I'm a bad guy. Look how bad I am. That's how I saw it. I thought that was cool because when, I guess, yeah, he was trying to sell Clark on the idea, but then Clark was like, nah, I don't want to be a part of this. And then when the bad guy, Zog, whatever, is saying, well, if you're not a part of this, then what are you a part of? At that point, Clark's head is like surrounded by the skulls, and he's like the same size as the skulls. So he's basically one of the skulls. I quite liked. He had like fully sunk into the skulls at that point.
Yeah.
Which I just thought that was cool because he had become one of the skulls. It was like either come with me or this is what will happen with you.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. I just thought that was kind of cool.
Well, it was a cool visual. I saw it as a way like of him trying to get him to come onto the side. So it was just funny because it was like the worst way to go around it. So this is when we get full Ghost Dad.
Full Ghost Dad.
Yeah, because he like gets inside the ship's mainframe or whatever, and he like is opening all the doors and shit.
Oh yeah, when he's directing Amy Adams.
Yeah. What did you think of that?
I said earlier I thought it was really cool.
Oh yeah, we did. Sorry, we did mention that. Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. Did you not?
Not too OP.
No. Because
there was a reason for it.
I mean, I didn't think about it like that at the time, but it's not that OP. He's just closing the door.
That's true.
It's not like he was shooting them himself.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yes.
Because it seems like you don't.
No, I do, yeah.
You don't think it's too OP?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Is that a common criticism?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
No, it's just you said that like it was. I don't know.
I was just asking. I was just trying to keep a conversation going.
Well.
Sorry.
God, I can't believe you.
I forgot about this. I didn't make a note of it, but I've just remembered. Ghost Dad does die. Again.
Yeah.
Zod wipes him out.
That was sad.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess it was.
I was a bit like, damn, you really got him again. You really killed him twice.
There's never a moment
This mad
where
lad.
Clark even finds out about that. Or like
True.
we see him react to that. That's quite...
Well,
Wow. Never thought about that.
sucks to be Clark.
Yeah.
Loses his parents twice.
So many times. And
3
both
times.
sets of parents.
Jesus.
Well, apart from his human mom. One common complaint is the product placement in this film.
I did not notice any.
Well, that's the point I was going to make, because I don't think it stands out to us because we are English peoples.
Yes.
But there's like so many of like different like supermarkets or like whatever they are. I think IHOP.
American.
Yeah. So like there's like an IHOP and a Sears and like
They just sound made up.
7-Elevens. Well, exactly. So it doesn't stand out, but I feel like it would be the equivalent of us like seeing an Asda and like different places like that. So I think maybe that's why it bugs people. But obviously because they're not like things that we have over here.
Yeah.
It doesn't stand out to us. But
well,
it did seem
sucks to be
quite.
American.
But because I know that people have a problem with it, I did notice it, and I was like, Jesus, that's a lot of.
Didn't notice a single one.
But I mean, it's
I know
not...
Walmart. Was that in this film?
Probably.
Wow.
The finale.
Yeah.
Is a lot.
So, with a typical film, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have the whole like 3-act structure.
Yes.
And all that stuff we learn in media, and where like the protagonist and the antagonist meet in the middle of the film.
Yes.
They have the little fight.
Mm-hmm.
That happens, and then they stop. They have their fight, and then they go their separate ways, which happens. But then at that point, normally you'd have like a bit of chill time, bit of downtime, collect your thoughts, build up to the finale again. But it doesn't stop; it just carries on.
Yeah, this film has no chill.
Literally, from the point that it starts, it just goes and goes and goes, and
it is exhausting.
Yeah, it just loses any impact by the end. It's like, God's sake. And then they have the entire fight scene, and you think he's dead, or you think he's been defeated, and then he comes back, and there's more. And it's like, yeah.
Yeah, it is I do like the action. Hello, everyone. Daniel here. Which Daniel? I couldn't possibly tell you. Just popping in to apologise because the sound quality is about to get a lot worse because my microphone decided to stop recording this far into the podcast. So I'm terribly sorry for what you're about to hear. But if you would like to hear our reactions to finding out that my microphone stopped working, then please stick around to the end. But until then, thank you for your continued listening. If you've left, that's fine too. I guess you can't hear me. Yep. Thank you. Bye now.
Yeah.
Like to begin with, when you're not sick of it.
To begin with.
Because it is.
Keyword.
Especially because, like, in a super, we've never seen action, which is why I think it does outstay its welcome a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've never had this kind of action in like a Superman film before, because they've just never been able to do it.
Yeah.
Obviously, because like technology and all that. So I think they really wanted to hammer home the point that like they can do cool action with Superman, but obviously, yeah, it does get a bit much.
Too much.
I think it should have gotten to Zod quicker.
Yeah.
Rather than wasting time with Big Boy and Woman.
I think it just needed true. I feel like it just needed a break.
Yeah.
To just so you could breathe. One scene, a couple of minutes, and then back into the action if you really want. But
well, there is a very brief moment where he saves Lois because she's probably falling off something, and they have. I'm not sure if it's their first kiss.
Yes.
It is.
It is.
So I made a note of this line because it really made me cringe.
Yeah.
Because she says they say it's all downhill after the first kiss, which I was not aware that it was a common phrase, but apparently it is.
I've never heard that.
No, me neither. But she says that, and then Clark replies, I'm pretty sure it only counts if you're kissing a human.
Ooh.
And it made my skin crawl.
What is that implying?
I don't know. But yeah, that was...
Maybe he's right there.
Well, yeah, I mean, they seem to be getting on well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I suppose I don't really have much to say about the ending, really. I think because, like, there's what can you
Bit
say?
of a blur.
What can you say, really? Like, lots of punching. Okay. I think people's biggest issue with this film is the ending, because there's so much destruction.
Yeah, I was going to mention that.
People are like, Superman would not allow, like, all of this, like...
He didn't allow it.
Well, that's what...
I'm not having this, guys. Okay. Stop it. Pack it up. Too much.
Like, they say, like, he should have made more effort to try and take it away from, like, the city, or, you know, stuff like that.
Get a life.
Wow. I mean, I agree, because it doesn't bother me in the slightest.
Yeah. How's Superman going to bring the dude away from the city when the dude is going around destroying skyscrapers and stuff? How's he supposed to bring it away?
Well, he should have done it.
True. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
He didn't. Yeah, he tried his best to stop. And what I was going to bring up is that I feel like it's never acknowledged in Batman vs Superman that there's like New York's being destroyed. But maybe I'm wrong, because I feel like
That's kind of the point of the film.
I'm wrong then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
That is okay.
The second scene is like Bruce Wayne running around it as it's happening, and he's all like,
Batman.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And he's all like, "Fuck." Man.
I should watch that film again.
That's why he's got such a grudge against Superman, because he's like, "Look at all this."
That actually makes sense.
Yeah.
I should watch. Yeah.
I would recommend it.
Do I need to watch a Batman film before that?
No.
Is there a Batman film before that?
It goes Man of Steel, Batman v Superman.
That's dumb.
I think they were rushing a bit.
Yeah.
Because this is like back in 2013. So like the first Avengers had only just come out. So they were like, fuck, we got to do what Marvel's doing.
And they failed miserably. Yeah. Okay, well, my bad.
Yeah, I mean, what else can you say, really? If we just fast forward to the end.
Yeah, there's nothing notable in that last, like, half hour, 45 minutes.
So what do you think of... You look like you're about to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like the thing between Henry Cavill and Amy Adams is a bit forced. The love thing, like, why can't they just be acquaintances? It just felt like there wasn't any romantic tension between them. I don't know if that's the right word, but...
No, I mean, yeah.
They should have done more for the rest of like, throughout the film, instead of just having them kiss at the end. Just felt a bit like out of nowhere. Not out of nowhere, because we all knew it was coming, but, you know.
I think it's just one of those things where, like, they felt the need, like, they got a kiss at the end, because everybody knows that Superman and Lois Lane get together. Like, so I think it just...
They should have changed that with this adaptation.
Well, they could have just, give it room to breathe. They didn't have to.
And also, do they recognise each other at the end?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was going to say how dumb that is that she doesn't recognise her.
No, she does.
They recognise him. Okay, that's good.
What did you think of the neck snap?
The what?
The neck snap.
Deserved.
Deserved?
Yeah. Did he do it towards the people? Was it?
Could he have just...
No, it was necessary. Because he literally just said he would never give up. Yeah. And that was his goal. He was born to do that.
I'm just parroting what, again, people on the internet have said. Cause I like
people on the internet are dumb.
No, but I like it.
Yeah.
And I like that he has a bit of a cry afterwards.
He tried not to throughout. He tried not to do that, but ultimately, the dude wasn't going to give up. So,
snap his fucking neck. If
someone was born with the sole goal to kill me, I would snap his neck.
Well, it's pretty controversial.
Yeah, it's quite incriminating as well. So
yeah, it's alright. I'll edit it out.
Thank you. Oh, funny. Yeah.
There's another line in here that made me cringe.
Oh yeah.
It was at the end. He's like when he destroys that drone or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he's talking to that military dude. Mm-hmm. He flies away, and the military man says to a military lady, "What are you smiling at?" And she says, I just think he's kind of hot.
I don't think it was that cringe.
I did.
I thought it was kind of funny.
Wow.
Just thought it was a bit like, yeah.
You've gone down in my estimation.
Sorry. I mean, what was so cringe about it?
It's just like, what?
Just a funny moment.
It's not funny, though. It's not funny.
Okay, well, I don't feel that strongly about it either way.
Alright, well, you can just agree with me then.
I agree, it was so cringy.
Thank you.
That should be in all the cringe compilations.
Okay, well that's all of my notes, but there's one last thing I want to touch on.
Okay.
Just, what did you think of the overall direction? I don't mean direction like by the director, I mean direction. Of the film, like in terms of like its tone and kind of like what it was going for and what it was trying to say, like, or not what it was trying to say, but I mean, like, I suppose, like, I'm talking about like how like dark it was and how, if you want to use this word, even though it's like really overused, like how gritty it was, like,
Yeah.
because it's very obviously trying to do the Dark Knight but Superman.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, and I don't think they make any attempts at hiding that, really. Especially, like, it came out, like, a year after The Dark Knight Rises, and, like, Christopher Nolan is a producer on it. So, like, it's like, they're trying to capitalise on the success of the Dark Knight franchise, but try and do it with Superman. Even down to, like, the fact, like, we can't call it Superman, let's call it Man of Steel. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Like, things like that. So, and that's quite distracting to me. And, I don't know, I just want your opinion on that. Like, what do you think they should have done that to begin with, or like?
I prefer a dark and gritty superhero film, or I just quite like dark and gritty films in general, like realistic ones. But
how well does that translate to a character like Superman, in your opinion? Like, do you think they pulled it off?
Yeah.
I agree.
Cool. I don't feel like it was like overly like super dark, like really depressingly dark. I feel like it was dark enough to be good, but not too dark. It had its funny moments, like, you know, I think he's hot.
Comedy gold.
Yeah. Had some downtime at the beginning of the film, the first half. Yeah. I don't know. I think it did well what it was trying to do.
Fair enough. I mean, I do agree. I just think, I don't know. I think it's just because it's so obvious to me. Like, it's almost shameless in a way. It's just like, we just got to do the Dark Knight. But Superman. So I guess, but like, not that. But
the Dark Knight was good, so
it was good.
Why not do it with Superman?
I suppose because it's just like you're taking the wrong like message from it. It's like the Dark Knight is good, not because it was dark and like gritty. That's an aspect of the film, but it's good because it was well made and well acted, and like, you know. So it's like you're taking the wrong.
Yeah.
But like, again, I like Man of Steel a lot. You know, it's got its problems, but like solid film.
I would agree. Definitely a solid film, and it makes me want to watch the other films in the series, which I had no interest in before.
That's good. I'm pleasantly surprised. Because I really thought you were going to come and say how much you didn't like it.
Wow. And I thought the same. Like I said, I put this off as much as I could, so I didn't want to watch it. But yeah, I ended up really enjoying it. So, thank you.
Okay, but that's Man of Steel.
Well, thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.
But before we do that outro, I'd like to tell you what I am making you watch for next week's episode.
Yes, go on.
So I have it on Blu-ray for you. It's a Studio Ghibli film. It is, drumroll please, Spirited Away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You haven't seen that, right?
No.
Okay.
I've never seen any Studio Ghibli films.
Yes, you have.
Apart from that one that we're not going to discuss.
Okay.
No, okay. Yeah. I think that might be on Netflix, actually.
Yeah, it is. They are. The Ghibli films are.
I'll probably just watch it on there then.
Good call.
Okay, yeah. Looking forward to that. Because they are films that I've been wanting to watch for a while, but I've just never found myself.
Well, it's probably the best.
I feel like it's the one I hear.
Yeah. It's like known as being the best.
Yeah, I think it's that and like Princess Mononoke. My Neighbor Totoro.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Like those ones.
Maybe I'll make you watch that at some point too.
Alright, don't get ahead of yourself.
And then My Neighbor, no, the other one, Princess Mononoke. But anyway, yeah.
Okay, looking forward to that. So make sure you watch that as well, so you can know what we're going on about next week.
Next week. That'll be next Friday.
I guess all that's left to say is please
follow us on Twitter
at Can't Believe YHS.
Yes. We'll tweet when there's a new episode out for you. Subscribe to our
YouTube
RSS.
Subscribe to our RSS feed.
It's in the comments.
It's in the comments
and
of this, whatever this is.
This is in the description, I meant to say.
Subscribe to us on YouTube as well.
Like the video.
And
share the video.
Big thank you.
Tell us what to do to improve.
Can I?
You can.
Yeah, I mean, just any feedback is good because, we just want to know that people are out there. So, but yes, thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week with Spirited Away.
I've been Daniel.
I've also been Daniel.
Goodbye. Good.
Oh, shit.
No.